let's go right back to the beginning, if you don't mind, Deborah, just in terms of where you were right at the start before we met. If you could talk about your struggles, what was going on, that would be a huge help.
Okay, well, I'm going to try my hardest not to get upset, because I did the other week and I was mortified. So at the beginning of COVID, my mum had mild dementia. As the lockdowns had started, she dramatically got worse, dramatically got worse. So I've always battled with my weight. Even from being at school, I always felt like I was the fat friend, and when I look back now, I just so wasn't. And I think, in those days, your parents had really talked about stuff like that, probably didn't realise how much my weight bothered me. Whereas now I think, parents are more aware of obviously there's more social impacts and stuff back then. But I used to always feel fat. So then I started mucking about with different things, comfort eating quite a lot of the time. So when my mum's dementia escalated, I work full time. I was working from home all the time then. So I used to work 2 full days at my mum's, and then on the days I wasn't working up there, I used to go up on a night time at 6, and this went across every weekend. So every night she'd be crying because she wanted to go and see our mum and dad, and obviously our mum and dad had passed away. And mentally it was just draining, very tough. I couldn't wish it on me worse. I mean, me and my brother really, really struggled. And I came last. My family came last. My mum was number 1 priority. I got diagnosed, the year before, and that I'd been diagnosed with diabetes type 2. Because it was one of them, I never felt poorly with it. So I did nothing about it, because, to be brutally honest, I could not. My mum got all of my attention. So I was already battling with my weight. At my biggest, I think I was 17.4 and then I didn't. That was when I dared get weighed. But when my mum's dementia, that was kicking in, I have a feeling I might even have gotten back up to that, but I didn't get weighed. I didn't try and do anything because emotionally I couldn't have dealt with it. And then she had to go into a home because she put herself at risk because she was going into random people's houses. And we literally had to drop her off the door, and then we couldn't see her couldn't see her. So it was horrible. So it took me a long time to come to terms with it. I still haven't really. And then people started being able to have a bit of a life back, because sadly that was one of the positives out of it. We got our lives back. And I started again messing about, going to Weight Watchers and things like that. And then we went away, and on the Saturday we were at Northallerton. I started walking down the street, and basically it was like somebody pulled the plug out of me. I went drained. I was exhausted. I called in on the way home. I randomly called in Tesco's because I said, once I get in, I'm not coming back out. I went and did shopping. I had to come back to the car, get a whole set of clothes, go back in and go and get changed because that was soaking. And it took me until 11 o'clock at night, actually, because I didn't want to admit that it was me diabetes, and it was me diabetes. So I joined back to Weight Watchers again. I thought, right, I've got to do something. I'm going to have a heart attack if this continues. And it was literally, it was the bank holiday weekend. You turned up on my Facebook, and I know a lot of people say this, but it was just, you turned up at my lowest point, both emotionally and health-wise. And you know what I was like when I joined. I was a nervous wreck. Poor David, he still got me. I cried.
Pausing on what you said there, there's so much you've been through, so I want you to just really reflect on that for a second and see what you've been through. I mean, for anyone to go through that, I haven't been through that. I'm not going to pretend I know what it's like to go through that, because I don't. And people often say as we get older, it gets harder, because obviously due to the menopause, we have associated changes in hormones, which leads to muscle mass loss, which makes it more difficult to maintain a healthier weight. However, people forget to say that you also have more responsibilities because of elderly parents that land on your shoulders that you had to carry. And then the weight goes up. We don't notice it going up. It creeps up, and then it gets to a breaking point like it did for you.
Yeah, I can remember before I joined, and I was down home and I couldn't get connected to my laptop for work. And I just had Peter thought I was having a breakdown. That's how draining it all got, that the sightless thing of not being able to get logged on to my work laptop. So I was shaking, I was crying, and I felt hysterical, if I'm honest. So I guess something had to give. Sadly, it was the fact that me and my brother could no longer cope looking after my mum, because how do you keep her locked in the house, you know? And she would be like distraught every day, you know, because she wanted to go and see her mum and dad. And how do you tell somebody who thinks she sees her mum and dad every day that well, actually they're not there, because you're not supposed to say, you know, they're dead, unfortunately. But yeah, so I was totally 100% rock bottom. I was worried actually that I was going to have a heart attack. That's ultimately, I just thought, I'm killing myself if I don't do something. I am killing myself. And it wasn't just any one thing, you know, comfort eating and stuff like that, but it was just, I just felt like such a failure trying to lose weight, because I had never been successful. I would lose it, then I'd put it back on. And I can't put into words how upsetting that is. It mentally drains you. So then you just put on this front that you're happy. There's only Pete and you know, that I wasn't happy. You know, he's my bloody rock, Peter. But he knew I wasn't happy. But everybody else is just like, oh, you're dead bubbly, you're this, you're that. I used to be like breaking up inside, Alex, you know, horrible. Like, not even, just I used to be stressed out, just picking clothes to go out with my friends. And none of my friends are judgy. They liked me. They didn't care what I looked like. They just wanted to spend time with me. But I would be so hot on my appearance and everything. It just, you know, I sometimes jokingly say, even now, oh, weight ruined my life. It did ruin my life, and not in a positive way. It was.
How often do you think about it? How often was your weight on your mind?
Every day, all the time. Like, just, you know, walking up the stairs and getting out of breath, and just all the time, honestly. I stopped talking about my feelings. I am emotional, but you know, I am. I've left you plenty of voice messages being emotional. I am an emotional person, so I was just really just so desperately unhappy. And when I joined TSD, I was so desperately frightened that I would fail again. But obviously I haven't failed. Bloody smashing it in David's words.
What have you achieved, Deborah?
What have I achieved? Now, do you want me to start with the non-scale wins? Or...
You know what? To be honest with you, all of it's so important. Keep going on about non-scale victories being so important, but by you losing as much weight as you've lost, you've literally added on 9 more years to your life. By losing that amount, you've added on 9 more years. But anyway, I'm not going to let you jump in. Tell me, what are the wins? All
right, okay, so I'll start with the health ones. So diabetes HbA1c score was 60. I feel embarrassed saying some of these, you know. I was 68 when I joined. It is now 41. My medication has been halved. Fingers crossed, I come off it at the end of the year.
Yes.
My asthma is now dormant. I no longer use my inhalers. Sadly, I still do have high blood pressure, but it's under control. So whereas before I'd get an extra tablet, my medication would be increased. So I'd be like thinking, I'm rattling here with all of this. It has remained the same. Even when I had my eye operation, Alex, I had normal blood pressure. I was like, what? So yeah, so centimeters lost. Now, like, you know what I'm like with my stomach. David definitely does. But actually, when I was working it out, I've got it wrote down. I have actually lost 35 centimeters off my waist. So it's definitely going somewhere, isn't it? Like overall, I've lost 85 centimeters.
80, that's massive, Deborah.
It is. And I would say to anybody doing this, just actually write. I know you've got it on the app, but just write it down and work out how much you've lost, because it's like you'll be speechless, because that's what I was like today. So 85 centimeters lost. I've lost 33.151. I have to get the right numbers there, kilos, which is just over 5 stone.
5 stone, guys. I mean, look at the comments here. I got to jump in here. Rachel McAdams saying 35 centimeters. That's incredible. Sheena Bridgman, 85 centimeters. That's incredible weight loss. Incredible weight loss. Haley Pope, Mish Toomey's here. And she's commented massive waist change. Oh my God, that's incredible. Centimeters. So incredible, Deborah. Go back and read these comments. I'm telling you afterwards. They're fantastic.
So I was a size 22, 24. I'm not a 12, 14. I'm a 12. So I don't think I'd be going into a 10, Alex, I'm afraid, for the drop the dress size. But, you know, maybe it's a couple of more centimetres off my waist. You never know.
There you go. Just repeat that dress size change, because that is one of the most...
size 22, 24 to size 12. And I promised Maria Pombo that I will no longer buy baggy clothes. She actually, when I met up with her at Sheffield, she came to the changing room with us and made us try a size 12 top on, because I was adamant it wouldn't fit. And what I would say to people, Debbie McQueen said this, and it stuck with me. If you've got clothes what haven't fit you for a while, please keep trying them, because it'll happen to you what happened to me. I went and tried them and they were too bleeding big, so I'm still never got to wear them. So just keep trying your clothes, because even though the scales, and I can't deny I am a little bit obsessed with the scales, just ask David, he'll tell you. Even when the scales don't go the way you want, your body shape is changing. So that's what I had a bad week one week and then bought a size 12 dress. And I was still upset over the scales, but it was like, are you mad, woman? It's like, you've just bought a size 12 dress. I was like, I know, but then scales.
Size 22, 24 down to size 12 is nothing short of remarkable, Deborah.
Yeah.
That is absolutely sensational.
Hard work, Alex. It's hard work.
Well, there you go. And you did it.
You've got, you know, if you don't put in, you don't get out. And like, I am definitely, you know, I'm committed to this. I'm too hard on myself, I know. Have a lot my mindset, self-doubt, overthink. You know, David knows, driving me crazy. But I was overthinking this one and thinking, oh my God, what am I going to say? People will be bored with me this life. So I was expecting you to say, Deborah will get somebody else, but you didn't.
Not a chance. Not a chance. And actually, let's go back to what you said a minute ago. In terms of being hard on yourself, it is an inverted U. If we don't care and if we don't reflect, and we always say, oh, it'll be grand, it'll be fine, we don't change, we've no awareness of the problem. If we're overcritical of ourselves, we beat ourselves up, we always find the things we didn't get right, aka in an exam, the questions we feel like we got wrong, and we miss all of the other wins, aka the non-scale victories. So while you feel it's a weakness, Deborah, in some ways, it's also been some of the reasons as to why you've been a gigantic success.
Yeah,
because
I push myself all the time.
Exactly. You said it. You test yourself. You look for areas.
I'm probably more shocked with the exercise. I've got to say, I don't think I'm an athlete. One day I thought I was an athlete, and that's when I did that London trek with the 25 kilometres of Mandy and the rest of the girls. But I still don't feel like an athlete. I'm not sure I ever will. But I think I've developed a bit, but well, Pete would say I've always been stubborn, but I have openly acknowledged I can be a bit stubborn. So like burpees, I couldn't do them. I practiced them every day. The Romanian deadlift, I could never get that right. I sent David a video every single day, and Tristan videos. Now it's reverse lunges, because when I first started, I couldn't do split squats and reverse lunges because of the osteoarthritis in my left knee. But because my legs are like so much stronger, I'm able to. I'm not perfect, like, but I can do them. And this is somebody who used to think she was crap at PE, who was made to feel that she was absolutely right, to the point I used to pick things like the shot put, like something where you just like literally chucking something and not a whole lot of effort. But now, you know, who knows, I might have volunteered for more things now. But so I go to the gym. I love the gym. I can't believe I'm saying it. And like when I first went to join, I used to walk past it every single day and hesitate outside the door and not go in. And then I sent Sherry a message through Messenger and made an appointment to say, because I knew I wouldn't back out there and I wouldn't let anybody down. And I went and never looked back, really. So crazy.
Everything changes. And just go back to what you said regarding the burpees and the lunges. To challenge you on that, rather than saying I couldn't do it and I can do them now, when you find an exercise, Deborah, that you struggle with, look for the parts of the movement that you can do. Okay, so I'm able to do the descent or the eccentric phase, the lowering phase, but I'm still developing my concentric phase or the standing back up again. I'm still developing. There's areas of development and everything. And oh, Deborah, I could speak to you for hours. Honestly, what you've done is just sensational. And what's more, and that is, when I welcome someone new into the program, I'm telling you now, the person doesn't even get an opportunity to write in their whys before you welcome them in. And the way that you do that so consistently, that you pull other people up, Deborah, that is massive. And
I know, honestly, I do work, you know.
Yeah.
That's it, I can do.
I'm so grateful.
You know, I just remember how frightened and nervous I was when I joined. I mean, I did my audit wrong. I told David everything, what I didn't like was what I liked, and then I was like, so yeah, I did. I was like this for a whole week. When he rang us, I was, you know, who rang me to go through the questions. He must have thought, dear me, don't know whether I want to inflict her on Alex, but I was so emotional and so frightened, so overwhelmed, and so like, you know, when people who are just starting really just need to do it one step at a time. And what I've learned over like the year or so is that if you're struggling, go back to basics. Go back to basics. David tells me all this all the time, and I find myself telling other people that, like David has been fantastic for me, Alex. I struggle with my mindset, but I struggle with the journaling as well. I know you really like journaling, but I kind of get into it. But I guess what I do is, because I hate now you put the question on the audit, how many times you're in touch with your coach, like, oh my God, like all the time, every day. And I delete me messages as well, and sometimes he catches me up and say, you've deleted a message, and I'm like, but I guess I find that I might not do a journal, but I write to David every day.
Yes, Deborah.
And then I might delete it later on and write another one. Well, I do that.
I'm going to challenge you now. I'm going to ask you to not delete a message moving forward.
Oh my God. All right.
I want you to do it for me now, because I want you to use Telegram as your form of journaling. Your wins,
all right.
areas
He's
to
going to love you, Alex. He's going to love you.
No, he will. Oh, David's as big a fan of you as I am. So
all right. I promise I'll try my hardest not to do
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. And I'll catch you out if you do.
Hello.
I'm on Telegram as well. So why do you think this is sustainable now, Deborah? Why do you genuinely believe this weight loss is not going to be temporary?
Well, you know, I think the fact that after over a year, I'm still losing weight, I'm still losing centimeters, I'm still doing it, I'm still trying to find ways to improve myself. Finally cracked the water, hallelujah. That's hard work, harder than burpees drinking the water. But it's, you know, it's just fancy food. It's just normal food. Like, it's just normal everyday food, not expensive, just average, just things what a family would eat. Like, and so, you know, like you eventually do move away from the meal plans, but actually I still eat quite a lot of the meals off the meal plans, because at the very beginning of the process, you're telling your coaches what you like to eat, and they give you meals based on the foods what you like to eat. So obviously you are, so it's what you like. So what is there not to do? You know, it's like I said, Taylor, I'm trying to move away from these meal plans, but like, you know, I have porridge every day. I love it. Like, it's what I like. It keeps me full. The exercise. Now, I was terrified. I mean, resistance bands. I once sent David a video. I must have 1 million resistance bands. I think I bought everyone on Amazon. And I was like, I can't even move them. But you can. You've just got to be, you have to be patient with yourself. And this drives me crazy when David says it to us. Trust the process and be patient. I'm not very patient, actually, but you really do have to be patient. And I do trust the process, and I trust David, and I trust you. And the thing is, the key thing to me in all of this is that you have people who believe in you. So when you don't believe in yourself at the very beginning, which I don't think many people do, I certainly didn't. I'm only literally starting to a little bit now. Having people believe in you, your coach, yourself, Alex, because you know, like, you know, you could be the owner of this and then not bother with people, but you interact with us all, and I don't know how, if you know how much that actually means. So having people who care and believe in you just keeps you going. The inner circle, like this, is such a safe place. And when I would encourage anybody who's just started, you know, post on there. I used to worry about posting my struggles on there, but you do know that it actually helps people, you know. And you know, on Saturday, I was Frankie, so I became a grandma, a nana for the first time in July, and it was his christening on Saturday. And I might not have been a glamorous granny, but I was as close to it as I was going to get. I felt I was wearing stilettos. Like, oh my God, I haven't worn stilettos since I sent a picture of them to the ambassadors, and I was like, I'm going to be wearing these on Saturday. I was wearing them all week with my gym gear. I look like, all right, loony in the house. But I wore them all day. And I was absolutely fine in them. But like, you can achieve so many things if you just stick with it. Like, painting your toenails, and Peter not having to let me out the car to park the car. Just normal, everyday things. I'm not talking about running marathons and things, just like being independent, not having to wait for Peter and Adam to get in from work, to be able to do things myself. Like, Peter hasn't been well, as you know. I'm carrying the shopping out the car and stuff like that. And like, I can be strong for him now. It's my turn to be strong for him. He's been strong for me all the time. He's loved me no matter what shape I've been. But he loves the fact that I'm happy now. And, you know, for all my ups and downs and self-doubt and stuff, I am just so happy. And it's not a front. It's like, I am genuinely happy. I feel, you know, I just feel so good in myself, Alex. And, you know, that is down to the program, the coaches. I've made so many friends, you know. I was nervous about online stuff. I didn't think online was for me. I was like, oh God. I sent David a picture of his scales every Thursday just so he knows I'm not fibbing, and he sees the scales. So I do sackless things like that, maybe, because I'm still a bit like, oh, online. But yeah, it's just normal everyday food with good support and advice, and people who believe in you and will get in touch if you need a phone call. They'll, you know, David I've asked for a phone call for David before, and he's rang me, and David calms me down. He listens to me. He's non-judgy. I keep saying I'm training for when his girls get older. That's all I say. I'm getting in training. But like he's just so supportive, as are all the coaches. You know, I know that they are. I mean, you know, Fra sometimes puts on posts on the inner circle, and they're always like the controllables. That one always rings true to me, because like, you know, but I'm like, I worry about things what might happen, and you know, things outside of my control. Learning your triggers. Like I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I've actually broke the comfort eating cycle now. So I know my mum's trigger. So I plan my snacks. I don't have any snacks during the day when I go and see my mum in the night, just in case I need to have something to eat. I need something when I come in, but I haven't even been doing that. While Peter's been painting, we haven't really known what's been going on. I haven't turned to comfort eating that. I've been focusing on going for walks, having body baths, doing things what like I know will calm me down. Talking to David, talking to Satty and the girls and that, you know. I talk more. I message you.
Absolutely.
So,
and you're one of the ambassadors, like you said, you know, you're the person inspiring other people. And that's a huge part of why we do this. The main reasons we do these celebrations is to celebrate you, your accomplishments, but also to inspire people who, and I keep repeating this, who really are struggling with crippling low self-belief, just doubting themselves, fear of failure. And like, people don't really doubt what we do anymore, but they doubt themselves. And it's people like you, Deborah, coming on here, being so open, so honest, so brave, and sharing your story, but most importantly, sharing some of the struggles that you had. And this is also a massive learning curve for me, because I've never experienced the struggles of obviously painting my toenails, you know. So
I used to think I was going to have a heart attack when I was doing them. I could barely bend down to reach them. Now I could put my foot over here.
I learned from you guys as well in terms of aspects that I had perhaps overlooked. I know some people who used to look at the chair before they choose a chair to sit in an office, so they feel comfortable sitting in it. And even the courage in terms of going to a gym and being nervous about going in and then going in. And by the way, guys, if you're watching this, you don't have to go to a gym. Okay, 80% of the people we work with actually train from home. But what would you say to someone right now who is nervous, who is scared, and isn't sure whether or not they can succeed?
You can succeed. Everybody here will support you. You haven't got anything to lose other than your unhappiness and your lack of self-belief. I honestly, I do get emotional about it, because it's been an emotional ride, and you will have difficult times, but you do get through them. And you know, I really struggle with self-belief and overthinking things. You know, if something goes wrong, I forget to reflect on that. You know, David reminds me. But you've just take the plunge. You've got, you know, you've got nothing to lose and so much to gain. And honestly, I have gained so much, like emotionally as well as just health wise. You know, I am stronger. I might not be with sometimes, but I am stronger emotionally in that. I'm just happy. I'm like, you know, like my 3 Ys. I mean, I only set them a few weeks ago, and I think I was messaging more or less straight away saying I want to change them. But now I'm thinking, I think I might be able to do these. But I have got our Frankie as a Y. So like when my kids were growing up, I used to feel like I sat on the sidelines. I couldn't do any of the physical activities or anything with them. But I can now. So I will be with our Frankie. So I want to be a fit nana. That's what I want to be. So
that's
you
massive.
know, yeah, it is. It is massive, because you know, it's no good looking back and having loads of regrets. I do have regrets, but unfortunately, Alex, you know, you weren't born when I started struggling with my weight. So I've had to wait. I've had to wait for you to come along. But it's been worth the wait. It's just been an amazing journey, and you know, people were calling me skinny on Saturday. Skinny, right? Like crazy. And somebody called me skinny. I mean, what is that all about? It's like, Yeah, so I felt a bit girly on Saturday. I didn't feel like an Oompa Loompa, like, which is what I used to feel. I used to hate social family events. I used to always feel like the fat auntie, or, you know. But I was just buzzing. I was some people didn't even recognise me. They didn't realise who I was. It's like mental. I mean, I haven't, you know who it is if you look, see my face, you know it's me. But people are initially just not used to seeing me size 12. So it's like,
You're
yeah.
reminded of what you've accomplished every time that happens.
Yeah.
And I don't have the vocabulary to describe how nice of a person you are, Deborah. And I am so blessed to have you as part of the tribe of TSD, not just from me having the reward in terms of job satisfaction, but most importantly, the help that you show other people. And that's what really counts. Happiness is getting what you want. Fulfillment is helping other people get what they want. And I just want to thank you personally. And I want you to spend, it's going to take you weeks now to go through all these comments, because there's so many wonderful comments here. Everyone for sharing, like we've 463 comments. So at least 450 of them will be for you. So I just want to thank you, Deborah, for coming on, being so honest, and continuing to share your story, but also to inspire other people. And if you're not proud, my gosh, I'll grab you by the shoulders and I'll shake you.
I'm getting there, Alex. I am. You know, when I wrote all this down today, I just thought. I mean, I am twittering about Thursday because I did a workout on Saturday morning. Did 17,000 steps, and then I wanted to have a guilt-free weekend celebrating our Frankie. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I've been back to the gym today and I've been getting my steps in. But you know, you're doing, like David reminds me, I'm doing this to live my life, not to hide away behind closed doors. And so, you know, I am definitely doing that now. And, you know, I think I said to him the other day, my mission in life seems to be to prove him right all the time. It's doing my head in. I wish he'd be wrong once, but he's not. He's always right.
He's got massive faith in you. He's got massive faith in you.
He has.
Trust the process. But I would say trust David, because David really trusts in your abilities. And he really
does.
In your abilities.
Yeah.
And I love him for that. And I love you for what you've done and what you're continuing to do. So Deborah,
Thank you.
I'm going to leave you at that. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
Incredible comments. Please spend some time, go back, give them a listen. And for anyone here watching, guys, it's doable. Sustainable weight loss is genuinely doable. And Deborah, excuse the pun, the proof's in the pudding, you know.
It is. And you know, I would just say, if anybody, you know, wants to reach out, I'm more than happy for you to reach out to me. I'm no expert. I'm certainly not a coach, that is for sure. But if, you know, if I can help anybody in any way, I genuinely don't mind. Just get in touch. I'll try and help.
That's so kind. Deborah, you have a wonderful evening, and I'll
speak to you. All right then.
Thanks, Deborah.
See you later. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.